Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trades Talk. I'm your host, Pop Culture Mechanic. You can just call me Pop. And yes, having missed out on Tuesday because of work and working long hours, it's time for Thursday. So I didn't have to work that late today. So I thought, you know what? I got all my stuff done, so we can come on in here and give a good stream. And in case you're new here, you wonder what's going on, we take a look at the world through an industrial point of view. We have a look to see what's going on out there in industry, whether things are being built, factories being built, or whether they're being closed down, or people are on strike. Lots of stuff to talk about. We also talk about the skilled trades, what you can do to get into them, what to expect, and I also share some of my own pictures and videos of stuff that I'm involved with. And I hope you guys find it interesting. Before we get to the news, though, I'd like to say hello to David Glenn. I saw what you posted there on Twitter about you being shadow banned by YouTube. That's a load of crap. I can't believe they did that to you. Some stupid algorithm thing, probably. But, yeah. And hello to you, DJ. DJ, you always like saying Trades Talk Tuesday on a Thursday. Yeah, everybody loves alliteration. That's why I chose Tuesday for Trades Talk. But we can have it on any day, really. And of course, Tits. How you doing, man? Nice to see you. You're in Wolftown, North Carolina, helping family with the post-hurricane cleanup. Awesome. That's awesome, man. I'm glad that you were able to actually be allowed in there to help. I've seen a lot of things on Twitter about people not being allowed to help, about how they stop people from helping. I just want to say, pull your head out of your ass and look around a bit and see that people are suffering and they need help. Like, what's wrong with you, government? Like, what's the matter with you? The government's pathetic. They can't even do anything to help you guys out. All right. We're going to get into get to see some news here, see what's going on. And I always check out with Plant Magazine. And we'll see what they got for some news here. Yes, guys, make sure you click on that live chat. I don't know why YouTube always defaults to top chat. Do live chat. Everything I heard is true. That's unfortunate, Tits. I wish it wasn't. It's a sad state of affairs when your own government sends your money overseas to fund things, and when people need help here from natural disasters, they're like, "Oh, we're broke. We got no money." So they're a bunch of crooks, and they deserve to be held accountable for everything they've done. And I hope people will do that. Let's see, what do we got here for news? German Technology Day 2024 returns to Toronto with over 30 exhibitors. German Technology Day organizers are back in 2024 in Toronto this year. Over 30 leading German companies with expertise in automation and advanced manufacturing solutions are coming together to host the 6th edition of the annual event at the Toronto Convention Center. So according to event organizers, this event is aimed at designers, engineers, technicians, system integrators, panel builders, supply chain professionals, and all members of the industrial, IT, manufacturing, and electrical industries. Covers a lot of people. As industries become more competitive and strive for return on investment, exhibitors seek to show attendees ways to work smarter, not harder, to be more productive. You can work smarter, but don't forget, you do have to put in the hard work to make it effective. Exhibitors in attendance include Helukabel, Baumella Canada, Pulse, Burkhardt, Samson, Item America, Weidmuller, Baluf, Phoenix Contact, Beckhoff, Pils, Wago, IFM, Keb, So Eurodrive, Schmelz, Iplan, Rittel, Mureltronic, Yukna, Fraba, Kuka, Visotech, Seek, Vega Instruments Canada, Zimmer Group, Skunk, Trumpf, Siemens, and Bosch Rexroth, among others. Each company will share their latest cutting-edge, energy-efficient, and smart solutions for industries. Representatives will be available all day at the exhibition hall to present their latest products and answer all your questions. In addition, the German Technology Day includes a series of company-related presentations taking place in breakout sessions. These sessions will take place throughout the day. The event is designed to allow for more individual interactions between attendees and exhibitors. In addition to more meaningful meetings with participating companies, the German Technology Day also offers a chance to meet, interact, and connect with sponsors and partners, providing opportunities to network extensively. Okay. You went to get a drink and thought maybe Carl was here? He's streaming right now. I just came from watching his stream. I was also watching Pacific 4-on-4 stream. I was watching Mike play some of that new Contra. And that game looks great. Ever notice when I speak German, it still sounds French? Come on, tits. I thought I was better at it than that. What do we got? New battery storage project coming to southwestern Ontario. Hyundai Motors hits milestone 100 million vehicles produced globally. Look at that, eh? Hyundai, you've come such a long way from the Pony. You guys remember the Hyundai Pony? On September the 29th, Hyundai Motor Company celebrated 100 million units of global cumulative production. The achievement was accomplished in just 57 years since the company's foundation, making it one of the fastest in the global automotive industry. In honor of this milestone, Hyundai Motor held a ceremony at its Ulsan plant in Korea. To mark the occasion, the company delivered its 100 millionth and first vehicle, an Ioniq 5, directly to a customer. The vehicle rolled off the final inspection conveyor belt at Ulsan's plant shipping center during a special handover ceremony. The event also featured a celebratory display commemorating 100 million and one, symbolizing Hyundai Motors' commitment to pushing one step further with its past accomplishments as the foundation. Reaching global cumulative production of 100 million vehicles is a meaningful milestone that was possible thanks to our customers around the world who have chosen and supported Hyundai Motors since the very beginning, said Jae-hoon Chang, president and CEO of Hyundai Motor Company. Taking on bold challenges and being in constant pursuit of innovation has enabled us to achieve rapid growth and will empower us to take one step further toward another 100 million units as a mobility game changer. The Ulsan plant, which began operations in 1968, holds significant historical importance as the birthplace of the development of the Korean automobile industry. Notably, the plant produced Korea's first mass-produced independent model, the Pony, in 1975. Currently, the Ulsan plant is a central hub for electrification, and the company is establishing a dedicated electric vehicle facility at the site. Each and every employee at Hyundai Motor has contributed to the accumulation of 100 million units through their hard work and dedication, said Dok Seok Lee, President and Head of Domestic Productions and Chief Safety Officer at Hyundai Motor Company. This auspicious occasion is just the first step towards the future era of electrification that Hyundai Motor will lead. The company says the milestone follows Hyundai Motor's continuous growth, fueled by the launch of Genesis, the high-performance brand N, and the introduction of EVs such as the Ioniq 5, based on the dedicated electric global modular platform. The company's global footprint has expanded with production facilities in Turkey, India, the US, and the Czech Republic, contributing to record achievements including surpassing 50 million vehicles manufactured in 2013. Last year, Hyundai Motor established the Hyundai Motor Group Global Innovation Center Singapore, a new concept of a smart urban mobility hub. The innovation manufacturing platforms and advanced technology developed there, including artificial intelligence, robots, and smart factories, are set to be introduced to future production factories such as Hyundai Motor Group Meta Plant. Maximizing production efficiency, the company continues to innovate and expand, building on its success and commitment to excellence. Hyundai needs to get busy and manufacture some workers. Koreans have stopped having kids. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good. They're probably in the same group, same thing as Japan. Japan's got that negative birth rate. That's not good. But good on you, Hyundai. I mean, I can remember the Hyundai Pony back in the day, and you've come a long way. Hyundai and Kia are like sister companies, so they're tied together. And I own a Kia, and I think it's good. Good value for the money. If you want to have a good car for the money, Kia seems to be all right. Same with Hyundai. Let me see what's next here. Canada's first infant formula manufacturing plant opens in Kingston. This is good because you want infant formula to be manufactured in your country rather than relying on China. Your job not so much, but you get annoyed at the manager on weekdays who is annoying about the slight lateness. Cisco and University of Ottawa partner to provide engineering students with IT and cybersecurity skills. United Steelworkers Union appoints Kevon Stewart as director. Lafarge opens low carbon fuel facility at Alberta plant. I think I read something about this last week. No offense, but please tell you it's not Tuesday, Godzillionaire. It's because I missed Tuesday, so I'm making it up for today. YouTube doesn't like it when you don't stream. They really hammer you and punish you. So I know it's not the day, but I'm doing it anyway just to get those watch hours in and all that good stuff. So Lafarge is a cement producer, for those of you that don't know. Cement producer Lafarge says it's installed a new facility at its Exshaw, Alberta plant that will use construction waste to reduce the plant's reliance on fossil fuels. Also, don't call them fossil fuels. The company, which held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the $38 million facility Thursday, says it will use discarded wood that would otherwise end up emitting methane in landfills to instead produce power for use in its cement production. It says it expects the use of this alternative fuel source to replace up to 50% of the natural gas typically used for its plant's cement-making kilns. Yes. Now must pleadeth the YouTube's gods. Exactly. Lafarge has dedicated commercial company Geocycle Canada that specializes in alternative fuels and raw materials. Geocycle is responsible for processing the construction demolition waste into low-carbon fuels and transporting them by truck to the plant. Lafarge says the technology is expected to divert 120,000 tons of construction waste from landfills each year and cut the Exshaw plant's carbon dioxide emissions by up to 30,000 tons annually, the equivalent of taking about 9,200 passenger vehicles off the road. I think they're conflating carbon dioxide with carbon monoxide. I would want to see how much carbon dioxide cars emit compared to carbon monoxide. So I think there's some BS going on around here. The Exshaw cement plant is one of Lafarge's biggest plants in North America, as a major supplier of cement for Western Canada and the U.S. Pacific Northwest. Jordy Lafarge. Hey, Mr. Lafarge. What are you doing there? Pokey Lafarge. There you go. So, I used to work at a cement plant, for those of you that don't know. It was like one of the very first jobs I had. I was 18, working at a cement plant. And I know these guys are talking about burning wood waste and all that. But the cement plant I worked at, they were set up to burn old tires. And they could burn old tires because the kiln burns incredibly hot. So hot that there is no waste. All there is left over from it is ash. It doesn't give off any of the gases, anything like that. It burns it so intensely that you get nothing out of it. There's nothing left. And they were, initially they would shred the tires and burn them that way, but then eventually they ended up just throwing in whole tires. There was a conveyor set up, tires would ride on it, boom, into the kiln. One a minute, boom, into the kiln. And yeah, that's how they got rid of all the tires. There is they were also set up to get rid of used oil. So, you know, when you take your oil to the gas station or whatever, and they dump it into the vats, you know, they took like all the used oil that Shell had in Vancouver, and they burned it. They burned it in the kiln as fuel, and that was it. There was nothing left. You're waiting for the new horror movie, The Carbon Under the Bed? Yeah, that's right. The Sahara is turning green. They're saying it's bad. Doesn't sound bad to me, Tits. Sounds to me like yay, because we were told for the longest time, and I don't know whether it was true or not, but that the Sahara Desert was growing bigger. But now if it's turning green, then it's all cyclical, I'm pretty sure. Activists are fighting entropy. They won't win in the long run. That's so true. But there you go. Lafarge patting themselves on the back for something that another cement plant I was working at was doing 20 years ago. No, actually, something that it was doing back in 1992. So when I worked at the cement plant, 1992, they were burning tires and oil as an alternative source to using natural gas or coal, because they would burn coal as well, but they were burning tires and oil, and nobody said boo about it. Not a word. They didn't pat themselves on the back like these guys. But now it's the times of patting yourself on the back for doing the low-hanging stuff, low-hanging fruit. That's pretty much it for the news from Plant Magazine. Let's get on to some other ones here. This is from WILX in Lansing, Michigan. Okay, so if anybody's near Michigan or in the state of Michigan, WILX number channel 10. Industry leaders from across the state held a hands-on expo at Impression 5 for Lansing public school students. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson stopped by. She had previously attended the Detroit Expo and was impressed, so she stopped by Lansing. You get a cramp when you try to pat yourself on the back? Yeah. My back hurts. To give them a chance to actually see themselves in the shoes of a carpenter, a welder, electrician, and give them opportunity to see how fun it is and really grow a passion. That's what this is all about, she said. A skilled trade shortage in Michigan is expected to last through 2030. What? It's not going to end in 2030. They say it's going to last through. It's just getting started, man. This is just getting started. It is not going to end in 2030. You're sadly mistaken if you think it's going to stop in 2030. The average pay for a skilled trade in Michigan is $48,000 a year. I guess it depends on what the cost of living is in Michigan, Lansing, anyway. Oh, not much of an article. Oh well. But they're doing something in Lansing, Michigan. Give hands-on experience to the younger generation. They might find that they like it. Here's something from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. We have an interactive map here, and it says the worker shortage across America. Explore the interactive map below to see the impact of worker shortage crisis in each state. So they have light blue as the least severe, and dark blue is the most severe. So why don't we pick a state here? What is this one? Montana. If they keep having the shortage, Michigan will end in 2030. Gotcha, tits. Gotcha. So Montana has 42 available workers for every 100 open jobs. Job openings, 35,000. Unemployed workers, 14,000. Labor force participation rate, 62.7. Unemployment rate, 2.5. Quit rate, 3.1. 4.8 is the hiring rate. Huh. Check at Wyoming. Okay, please excuse my lack of geography. We'll just go like this, though. There we go. Wyoming. Wyoming has 46 available workers for every 100 open jobs. Job openings, 19,000. Unemployed workers, 8,000. The participation rate is 64.5. The unemployment rate is 2.9. That's actually really low, eh? 2.9? The quit rate is 3.1. The quit rate is the number of employees who voluntarily quit as a percent of total employment. Okay. The hiring rate is 4.5. AI taking all the jobs? Get in the trades. I mean, I'm not worried about AI taking my job, DJ. Sure, there are jobs out there, but hey, y'all, let's all huddle around cities where everything is expensive and traffic is terrible. You stop making sense, Godzilla. You stop that. What other state should we check out? Oh, we could check out where DJ is. New York. Hey, I'm working here. There we go. New York. It says New York has 87 available workers for every 100 open jobs. Okay, so that's not too bad. Job openings, 441,000. Unemployed workers, 384,000. Labor force participation rate is 61. That's a little bit low there. Unemployment rate, 3.9. Quit rate, 1.4. And hiring rate is 3. You're in trades, come to Wyoming. It's not that cold. I'm not afraid of Wyoming cold, tits. I've lived through Alberta cold. I'm prepared for it. I'd be right at home. $40 below keeps the riffraff out. That's what I said too, Godzilla. I'm like, hey, you don't see panhandlers here in the wintertime because they're not going to stand out in minus 40 degrees. Try to beg for money. Should we check Minnesota? Is that this state? It is. There we go. Minnesota. It's got 51 available workers for every 100 open jobs. Job openings, 192,000. Unemployed workers, 97,000. Labor force participation rate is 68. That's pretty good. Unemployment rate, 3.1. Quit rate, 2.3. The top employer industry is education and health services. Really? Alberta is due north of you, tits. Don't make me get the map out. Don't make me get the map out. How to say ABCs in Brooklyn. F and A, F and B. That's all right, DJ. I think they're just job openings in general. Let's see what it says here in the preamble. America is facing a worker shortage crisis. There are too many open jobs without people to fill them. The interactive map below shows which states are suffering the most from a labor shortage by comparing their worker shortage index ratios. Yeah, it looks like it's just jobs in general, Godzillionaire. The Chamber's worker shortage index ratio indicates the number of available workers for every job opening. States with higher ratio have more workers available to fill open jobs. For example, a ratio of 0.39 means the state has just 39 workers for every 100 open jobs. A ratio above 1 would indicate a surplus of available workers compared to job openings. Let's check everybody's favorite state. California. What are they doing there? What's going on there? California has 92 available workers for every 100 jobs. Okay, so they are almost 1 for 1. Because their job openings are 975,000 and their unemployed workers are 895,000. You imagine New York kills trades with excessive taxes? I don't know. I think, DJ, hey, you'd have to answer that. Funny how the border states have more workers. You wonder why? It's a mystery. Gee. You mean the southern border states, like Texas. Da, Caliphate. Yeah, Texas has 80 workers for every 100 jobs. What's this state? Maine. Okay. Time to become a longshoreman. They're about to get a 75% raise. 75%. That's unreal. I don't think I've ever heard anything like that before. Maine is terrible. Like 41,000 jobs, you got 17,000 unemployed. The participation rate is 58%. You're just over half the population is participating in the labor force. Unemployment is 2.5. Man, oh man. What is wrong with Maine, you guys? We could also look that up too. I wanted to find something on the strike, but I don't know what news you'd want to read for that, though. This is from Detroit Associated Press. The union representing 45,000 striking U.S. dock workers at East and Gulf Coast ports reached a deal Thursday to suspend a 3-day strike until January 15th to provide time to negotiate a new contract. The union, the International Longshoremen's Association, is to resume working immediately. The temporary end to the strike came after the union and the U.S. Maritime Alliance, which represents ports and shipping companies, reached a tentative agreement on wages. The union and ports said in a joint statement. A person briefed on the agreement said the ports sweetened their wage offer from about 50% over 6 years to 62%. The person didn't want to be identified because the agreement is tentative. Any wage increase would have to be approved by union members as part of ratification of the final contract. The union went on strike early Tuesday, so that'll be 62% over 6 years, so maybe they'll do 10% a year or 11% a year. It'll be something like that. It won't be the full 62% all at once. It's just like everybody, when we negotiate ours, it's going to be like 3% every year, right? These guys will get 10%. The union went on strike early Tuesday after its contract expired in a dispute over pay and the automation of tasks at 36 ports stretching from Maine to Texas. Yeah, the automation of tasks. I mean, companies will have no compunction about getting rid of people for machines that can do the jobs. So you really got to train yourself up and get yourself, don't just be a laborer. Get yourself some knowledge, get trained up, get a trade or something so that they can't replace you with a machine. The strike came at the peak of the holiday shopping season at the ports, which handle about half the cargo from ships coming into and out of the United States. The walkout raised the risk of shortages of goods on store shelves if it lasted more than a few weeks. Most retailers, though, had stocked up or shipped items early in anticipation of the dock workers' strike. Oh, come on, get out of here. With the grace of God and the goodwill of neighbors, it's going to hold, President Joe Biden told reporters Thursday night after... This guy is still talking? Like, I thought he was gone. Didn't they boot him off to the side or what? I pick things up, I put things down, gets offended when their 80,000 a year job gets replaced by a robot. Yeah. It's 5 days before inauguration. Oh. Okay. How you doing, Alex Moore? You're headed to work tonight with a $3,000 piece truck. It's crazy. Man, 3,000? The commie union leaders caved to the Democrats to give VP Cackles a chance. Oh! Freaking hyena is right. That's because longshoremen struck yesterday. Scared the liberals who can't get their cheap Chinese... okay. You still say you're safe? No robot wants to wear an arm cover? We haven't had our election yet. Pierre Polytechnique. Pierre did not get in yet, eh? I can only hope that people wise up and don't vote for Trudeau again. The guy is a menace. He sucks. He's dumb. He's just a glorified drama teacher who was riding on his dad's coattails because in the 60s, his dad, Pierre, people loved him. It was Trudeau mania. And I don't know what happened. He ruined this country. He ruined it in the 60s. The guy was awful. He gave a finger to the West because, you know, he just didn't care about people out West here. So he rode on his dad's coattails, even though his dad was Fidel Castro. But it's not happening yet. We'll see what happens. I haven't heard about an election yet, but we'll see what happens. Vote Pierre Poupon. Yeah, I vote for him. He gives me the poutine. I eat it, and we are all good. I vote for you. We get that cigarette. Did you see the dock workers union leaders? How Elon Musk said he had more yachts than he does? I did. I saw that he has like some Rolls Royces and he's got like this giant house. I mean, how much does that guy earn a year? Like, I would think that the union membership, the brotherhood there, should look at their union president and be like, hey, why do you earn so much? Trudeau's dad ruled Cuba with an iron fist. Which dad, Pierre or Fidel? This is probably Fidel. He looks just like him. And he cried when Fidel died. I mean, what does that tell you? The demands are a bit steep. Robotic vehicles would make the dock more efficient. True, but yeah. Those guys have to... they got to justify their jobs. Use the same workers to do more. It's you know, when you're in a union, DJ, it's some unions are really strict. You can't step out of your bounds. If you try to do a job that's not in your job description, they can file a grievance against you, and you know, you don't want to get in trouble with the union for stepping out of what you do. Some aren't that strict, but I guess those guys could be really strict. See, Pop's French sounds German. Where was Pop between 1939 and 1945, huh? Where was I? I was not even born yet. In a statement later, Biden applauded both sides for acting patriotically to reopen our ports and ensure the availability of critical supplies for Hurricane Helene recovery and rebuilding. Yeah, like he can even get those to those people. I heard they're not even helping anybody. Like, what is their problem? FEMA spent all their money helping migrants and not helping the people? Like, come on. Yeah, you've heard stories, DJ? You once saw a union worker get woken up to get asked if he wanted to work overtime that night. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Hey, you want to work overtime tonight? I'll catch up on my sleep then. Where's autocorrect changing pop to poo? Hey, man. Stupid autocorrect. That's why I turned my autocorrect off on my phone. I turned it off. It's like, you know what? I'm going to spell the word the way I want to spell it. No stupid machine's going to autocorrect me. Guy goes to help someone adjust the microphone. Some rushes up and tells them, can't do that. It's a unionized worker's job, followed by nobody doing anything. Yeah. Biden said that collective bargaining is critical to building a stronger economy from the middle out and the bottom up. I'm sure he said that. Yeah, I'm sure he did. He probably went... Your autocorrect. It's never done. They're seizing private donations and not distributing them? What the hell? Poo culture mechanic is actually a lab tech? The union's membership won't need to vote on the temporary suspension of the strike, meaning that giant cranes should start loading and unloading shipping containers Thursday night until January 15th. The workers will be covered under the old contract, which expired on September the 30th. So for myself, our union hasn't negotiated. Our contract expired April the 1st, but we're still going. The company asked for an extension, so we gave them an extension. That's all that happens. It has to be properly done. They have to, they're like, they ask the union, hey, we'd like an extension until, whenever, September, October. And the union usually says, that's fine. Okay, no problem. And in October, maybe towards the end of the month, we'll start negotiations and we'll see what happens. But that's in my case. I mean, my downstairs neighbors are finally home. Thank goodness. Their little dog is quit. Oh, man. What an annoyance, eh? Just bark, and it just won't shut up. There's no way Biden completed that sentence. Yeah. The union's been demanding a 77% raise over 6 years, plus a complete ban on the use of automation at the ports, which members see as a threat to their jobs. Yes. Both sides also have been apart on the issues of pension contributions and the distribution of royalties paid on containers that are moved by workers. Thomas Kola, who teaches labor and employment law at Boston College, said the agreement to halt the strike means that the two sides are close to a final deal. I'm sure that if they weren't going anywhere, they wouldn't have suspended the strike, he said. They've got wages, they'll work out the language on automation, and I'm sure that what this really means is it gives the parties time to sit down and get exactly the language they can both live with. Industry analysts have said that for every day of a port strike, it takes 4 to 6 days to recover. But they said a short strike of a few days probably won't gum up the supply chain too badly. Kohler said the surprise end to the strike may catch railroads with cars, engines, and crews out of position, but railroads are likely to work quickly to fix that. Just before the strike begun, the Maritime Alliance said both sides have moved off their original wage offers, a tentative sign of progress. The settlement pushes the strike and of any potential shortage past the November presidential election, eliminating a potential liability for Vice President Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee. It's also a big plus for the Biden-Harris administration, which has billed itself as the most union-friendly in American history. You hear that, you guys? The most union-friendly in American history. Shortages could have driven up prices and reignited inflation. Really? I don't know if they're coming down. Are they coming down? Are they doing? Is Biden and Harris doing anything to bring them down? No? I'm not surprised. Have you seen a modern port? It's so automated they could put robots in and nobody would notice. Hey, it's the Gooch. Hey, man, how you doing? If you guys haven't tuned into Gooch, he has some awesome guests on, like this guy. Wow, the people he gets and the panels he has. It's just unreal. But yeah, do yourself a favor and check him out. But that's it about the dock workers strike. So we got to wait till January 15th to see if they will be able to hammer things out. And I'm sure Biden and Harris will take the what do you call it? Not the compliment. They'll take the credit for it. Be like, oh yeah, it was we helped. We did. To this I say horse hockey. Good old Colonel Potter from MASH, eh? Horse hockey. Got to get me on soon. Hey, I'd appreciate that, Gooch. Yeah, I mean, sure. Towards the end of October when I'm not during shutdown, because shutdown's pretty crazy. We are falling behind a bit because there's only myself and my apprentice that can do a lot of the rebuilds of the machines. A lot of the other operators don't know how to do that, so start panic buying around the end of December. Don't forget, that's just for the American ports. I think the Canadian ports will be unaffected. So we have Montreal and all those ones up to St. Lawrence, and then on the West Coast you'll have Vancouver, Victoria, and all that. So they'll be able to bring in stuff. You guys could honestly buy Canadian goods and bring them across the border if you're worried about getting stuff. Depending on how close you live, too, you could always do a day trip or something if you wanted to drive across the border to Canada, where your money will go farther. Yeah, thanks for dropping Gooch's channel in there, David. Thank you. Very good. Good job. Wife of longshoreman worker's wife was like, they worked under dangerous conditions like the pandemic, emphasizing the danger kind of makes a case for automation, though I'm not married to the idea. Ha! Hey, I had to work during the pandemic. If I ever get asked in the future, what did you do during the pandemic? I worked. I didn't stop. I didn't get days off. I didn't get sick, so I just kept going to work every day. That's what happened. Pop culture mechanic, pop culture apprentice. 2 there are. Only 2. No more. No less. I saw this one. This is from Great Falls, Montana. ADF and partners introduce welding careers to students. As the demand for skilled workers in trades like welding continues to grow, industries across Montana and the U.S. are struggling to fill critical roles. Recognizing the shortage, companies like ADF International, along with other industry partners, have started outreach initiatives aimed at educating and recruiting high school students into these in-demand careers. We do sell gas by the liter, tits. It's okay. It'll still fill up your tank. At the heart of this effort is an out-of-the-box approach by welding teacher Mr. Weber of Capitol High School in Helena, who has been instrumental in bringing his students to ADF International for hands-on learning experiences. And it looks like, from this picture, or this video, it looks like they're using a cutting torch. So, I mean, not welding, but cutting. So, I could see. It's probably a little better, easier to teach them oxyacetylene cutting. Trevor Flochinger, production manager at ADF International, credited Weber's initiative, saying, "If it wasn't for individuals like Mr. Weber, these students wouldn't be here." Recently, students from Capitol High School visited ADF International, where they participated in an automated welding demonstration, hands-on welding operations, and received a tour of the facility. Several industry representatives, including Great Falls College and Pacific Steel, were also present to guide students through the world of welding and the potential career paths available in the trades. Honestly, getting into like TIG welding and stuff like that, that's really clean welding. That's where you want to be. I bet everyone was classified essential and had to work. Yeah, I mean, we were, because I worked at the composting facility. And, I mean, the garbage doesn't stop. Lots of garbage trucks kept dumping garbage every day, so you had to get it sorted, you had to compost it, so that was what happened. Your tank runs on freedom units. Cutting torch equals anti-welding? Yeah, exactly. Real men use gallons. Well, up to 1977, Canada did use gallons, but then after that, they just switched over to the metric system in 1978. So, liters don't get you to the moon. No, you know what gets you to the moon? Elon gets you to the moon. Never mind the liters. I saw that Elon got his SpaceX guys up there to help those astronauts. You know, good for him. Make Boeing look like a bunch of chumps. They're like, oh, we'll send something up there, and they're like, no, that's okay. We'll wait for SpaceX. We trust their stuff more. Freedom units do us. And when did Canada start going downhill? 1978. I don't know about that. It was still good. Welding is not only in high demand, but it's also financially rewarding field. According to Flochinger, wages for welders can range from $18 to over $30 an hour, depending on experience and certifications. Yeah, so there's different certifications. You can just get your basic CWB or C welding. But if you get into like B pressure and stuff like that, that's where the big bucks is, because then you're welding pressure vessels, which have to have a special welding procedure to follow and all that kind of good stuff. So the more you can get when you're learning welding, like the better the certifications you get, the more money you get. Capital High School junior Addison Fair, who participated in the program, expressed her excitement about exploring welding further, saying, "I've heard it pays pretty good and it's going up right now with the need for it. To combat the national welding shortage, new programs are being implemented to accelerate training. ADF International offers a 7-week cohort program that equips participants with the skills needed to become certified welders. Upon successful completion, individuals are prepared to enter the workforce as certified welders, providing an expedited path to a promising career." And the good thing is they do welding tests. So you have to actually, do root passes and caps and all that. And then what they'll do is they'll take it and they'll break your weld. And they'll look at it and see to make sure it's got enough penetration and everything like that. They can also x-ray it to make sure it's good and strong. And if it's not, well, you fail and you have to take your test again. You have to learn. You have to go again and try again. Get your welds really good. Learn how to do, control your heat, control the flow, depending on what you use. If it's stick or if you use wire, if you weld with wire, you have to do your speed and feed and your heat. And then if you're using sticks, same thing. Control your voltage. Make sure you're going the proper speed for deposition and all that. Control the puddle. All that kind of good stuff. Flochinger believes the exposure to real-world operations is crucial for students to understand the opportunities available in trades like welding. When they get these opportunities to come to facilities like ours and see our internal workings, gives them exposure to what we have to offer. So yeah, you can be a welder, which is just you're pouring rod all day or wire, or you can be a fabricator, which means you use a welding machine, but you're tacking things together and you're building things. You follow a blueprint, you get angles correct, you tack things together, and usually if you're a fabricator, you tack the things together, and you get, you hold things in a jig and get it tacked together, and then you'll pass it on to the welder who welds all the points up as he's supposed to. So you can be a fabricator, which is a little more using your brain and building things, or you can be a welder, which is just pouring wire, all that kind of stuff. So I would personally shoot for being a fabricator because it's a little bit more interesting and you got to use your brain a lot more. Imperial measurements are essential to a civilized society. Metric is the measurement of tons. Hardly. The past 2 weeks has provided tons of new info about Ocean Gate carbon fiber sub. Really? That's the one that identified as a submarine, but it really wasn't, right? Controlled by a PlayStation 3 controller. Killed that billionaire. It's like, I would have bought a real submarine. It lost them World War, the Nazis, World War Part 2. Follow a blueprint, just like space engineers. Yes. So, a bright future for young welders. With the nationwide shortage of skilled workers in trades, particularly welding, programs like the one initiated by ADF International and local schools offer a hopeful solution by connecting students with industry leaders and giving them hands-on experience. These efforts are opening doors to high-paying, fulfilling careers for the next generation. As Fair shared, welding is really fun, and if you're in high school, it's something you might really enjoy. Okay, well, I know he's saying it's fun, but it's like, you better make sure that you wear your respirator, because breathing in exotic metals will end your life really quick. Your lungs won't like it. And if you've ever had the galvanizing shakes, you'll know what I mean. If you weld or cut galvanized and you breathe in the galvanized, after, you'll be there and you'll get when you get shivers down your back, you'll get that. But it's because you breathed in the galvanizing gas. So wear your respirator, wear your face shield so you don't get your face crispy and tan, because welding gives off ultraviolet radiation. A lot of it. It's like standing in the sun, unprotected. So make sure you wear your face shield, your welding helmet. That will protect you from the ultraviolet rays. I mean, you're only like a couple, maybe 10 inches away from the arc. You're getting it like massive doses right in your face. So just be aware of that. You have to wear your PPE and make sure that keep yourself safe, so that you live a long life and you can enjoy the money you make. The Logitech Fame Pad was the least of it. The way they did the carbon work, the way the guy ignored the popping noises, and better save your words for Monday. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's galvanizing shakes, DJ. UVB and UVC. UVC is the strong one that kills bacteria. Okay. Why didn't they stay on top of the water as the good Lord intended? Yeah. Your turtles use UVA and UVB. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is you're just going to you got to wear it because welding will wreck your life. And you'll see a lot of old time welders and they're 40 years old, but they look 80. So that's what that's from. And now, I know you guys always wait for this. It's picture time. It's picture time. Picture and video. Just gotta make sure we'll do that. And do this. Okay, so you guys saw how the stream is called Have Some Finesse. When you're using tools, you can't be like a caveman, okay? No matter what you're doing, whether you're pulling a wrench or whether you're using a screwdriver, you have to have some finesse. And by that I mean, don't just push with all your might, and try to spin the thing. It's like, okay, is this going correctly? Is the screw going in? Is it not cross-threading? When you're using a wrench, is it going to slip off? Are you going to hurt your hand? Are you going to pull the wrench into your face? Try to have some finesse with the tools. Don't be a caveman tradesman, okay? You will look better and you'll feel better because you're not hurting yourself. Every time you see those turbines, you ask yourself, who sold the copper? Who sold that copper? The smart people got to that copper. Anyway, here is picture. Now, this is, well, as you can see, this is a mechanic's light, a trouble light. They can, as you can see, there's some missing LEDs. There's a hole through this thing. So I get into work and this guy says, hey, you're going to need a new trouble light. And I'm like, why? Well, I was using the drill to clean out this spool piece and I pushed and I made it through cleaning it, but then I hit the flashlight, or I hit your trouble light that was below so I could see. And he went right through this thing. Like, holy. And that's what I mean by have some finesse. Like, and also situational awareness. You stuck that thing in there so you could see, and you're drilling over top of it. You don't drill like a maniac and push as hard as you can. You know that thing's down there. Let up, right? The drill, you're going with the drill. It's probably a battery operated drill. I don't think they were using a corded one. So it's also battery powered. You can stop those things. But almost looks like this guy did it on purpose. I swear. Look at that hole. That hole is so round. Nope, not that one. That hole is so round right there. It's like they took his time to drill right through this thing. Is that a Mossad light? Beep, beep, boom. Nope. We don't have any female operators at our plant. It's all guys there. And it's like, you don't have any finesse. That's why you're not a tradesman. He's not a tradesman at all. He's an operator. And he's got no control, it looks like. You just wrecked this light. Now I have to buy a new one. because it's wrecked, you know? And here's the backside of it. So there's a magnet there, so you can, it can magnetize to whatever you're working on. Or it's got a hook here, a plastic hook you can open up and hang it from whatever. But he went right through. Like, are you doing that in one shot, or are you just holding it there? Anyways, he went right through it. So now I have to order a new one. But that's no excuse. When you're using tools, no matter what tool, even a hammer, you can have finesse with a hammer. Why? Because if you just smash things willy-nilly, you're going to damage things. You're going to damage stuff. Today, I was removing a bearing from a shaft. If you mar the shaft, the bearing will not come off because you've created a high spot by hitting the shaft. You have to have some finesse. Carefully swing the hammer so it does not impact the shaft, and make it so that you can remove the bearing from the shaft easily. No, he needs to buy a new one. Yeah, you owe me one. I mean, you just, rather than get mad, it's just shaking your head in disgust because you're like, you're barbaric. Like, we should not give you a tool if this is what's going to happen. And, where is it? Here it is. I've got some video here. Check this out. There it is. You look at the back. It's got the hole in it. It still works. But we only got about half of the lights. So watch for this. I'm gonna see if I can turn this into a YouTube short, and see if it'll get some views. Would it be possible to meme this guy until he cries? I don't know. Yeah, it's my disappointment is immeasurable, and my day was ruined. Okay, this is what went on, and I was just like, oh man. So yeah, there you go. That's a weird TV remote. Yeah. No, I couldn't believe it, you guys. I just can't believe it. But you know what? As long as people like that keep working there, there's no end to the content for me to bring you guys. I can always be like, hey, look what happened. Hey, look at this. And you guys can be like, what? My God, what are you talking about? So yeah, I'll look for a new one after shutdown. Challenge accepted. You got her, tits. That's right. Yeah, so that's what went on today. I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. I mean, it's pretty crazy that he put the drill right through it. I just have some finesse. Like I said, if it's a hammer, a wrench, a screwdriver, think to yourself, if this thing slips, am I going to hurt myself? Or if I hit this thing at the wrong angle, is it going to make my job longer? You got to consider those things. As soon as you pick up the tool, you're like, okay, I've got to be careful with this. I've got to make it so I don't make my job worse. You know, even if it's a file, you know, oh, if this file slips, it's going to mar this part. It's going to damage something. You can do something about that. At some point, he had to see the light spinning. Oh, what is that? Oh, no. Also, during shutdown, we have to look into some of these strainers. So this is a strainer for one of our chemicals there, and we just look inside. We check to see if the strainer's okay. So I take some shots just to make sure. There's the strainers there, right? That's is it gonna make my job longer? Exactly, DJ. Yeah. Am I gonna cause my own job to be longer? You don't want that. Staple gun makes a handy hammer in a pinch. Uh-oh. But yeah, there's a strainer there, and it's not bad. It's all right. They wanted to check and make sure. This was what we saw in one of the other strainers. It's a little bit of debris, but there it is. So we get those cleaned up. It's some of the holes are clogged, but not too bad. So we get that cleaned up. Not finesse. Have some situational awareness. This guy's a safety hazard. And you know what? It's always the guys that are reckless that hurt other people and never themselves. I've noticed that. I've experienced that on the job. Guys that are reckless and doing stupid things, they don't get hurt. They hurt other people. It's ass backwards, I don't care for that at all. And it's like, that's why you give people hell on the job. If they're jerking around, it's like, hey, knock it off. We don't do that here, or whatever you have to say to them to get them to stop being an idiot. You had to click all messages again? Oh no! But yeah, there we go. That's my rant for the day about having some finesse, and I hope you guys will take it to heart too, that you should try to have finesse with your tools. Hey, Veritex, how you doing, man? Long time no see. When people say finesse, you think, oh, dancers, they have finesse, um, ballerinas, whatever. You have to have finesse with your tools as well. Don't just be a caveman. Don't go out there and just smash things, because then that's the reputation you will get. So people won't call you when they need. If you're on a maintenance team and they need something fixed, they're gonna go, oh, we'll pick that guy. Yeah, if you're the guy that smashes stuff all the time, you're not gonna get picked to do any kind of work. You'll get picked to do smashing work, or the really ugly jobs. But if you have some finesse and you can show people that you can handle things in a delicate fashion, then you're gonna get the nice jobs, the good jobs. Oh dear Lord, Fine's trying to put together a metal shelf. It says tap it with a rubber mallet, and I tap it, and one of the rivets of one of the unit goes flying. Sorry, Veritax, that was funny. Should have gone all Mo from the Three Stooges on this guy. Why I oughta. Yeah, we could have done that. Poked him in the eyes. Oh, a wise guy, eh? Nothing like the old Three Stooges. I like those guys. That's some good, serious slapstick fun. But yeah, Veritax, I was just showing them that this guy at work drilled through this thing. Like a brute. So this is a trouble light. And he drilled right through it. Like, couldn't you have remembered that it was in there and taken it out? Did you actually need it shining up through the hole so you could see? I don't get it. And I've even got video here, Veritax. Check this out. You think it's ruined. You think it won't even turn on. But, even with a hole through it. Click. There you go. All right. Well, guys, you know what? That was a fun time. Make sure you pass on the word to everybody. Have some finesse. Have some finesse when you work. When you're using stuff, using tools. Don't just be a brute. I want to thank everybody that came out tonight, though. People like David Glenn and DJ Ronnie G. Tits and Ray Guns, always good to see you. You're good. You make me laugh, Tits. You got the good sense of humor there. And Godzillionaire, of course, everyone's favorite kaiju. So I've got some good insight. And I saw Alex Moore. He was headed on to work. Good old Alex Moore. And the Gooch stopped by too. Yeah, it was good seeing him. Really appreciate fellow Canadian. You guys definitely got to check him out though. Man, it's wild the people he gets on his channel. It's great. And Veritax, of course. I'm glad you stopped by as well. Hey, no problem, Tits. I'm glad. I'm glad you're able to tune in and enjoy my stream. I try to keep it interesting and fun and happy. You know. Hopefully we learn a few things. Hopefully I can teach you guys a few things. You can teach me a few things. We keep up on the news. But yeah, if you guys can do me a favor, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. You know, spread the word. Tell your friends about me. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or on Kick or Rumble, because I stream to all of those places, just to spread myself out a bit to see who wants to come on by. There's other good channels out there too, people I personally watch and enjoy, like I was doing before I started the stream. I was watching Pacific 4 and 4. Mike was playing some Contra. There's our friend DJ Ronnie G. If you like tech, turtles, and astronomy, you got to tune into DJ Ronnie G. There's Brandon the anime guy. There's Kyle, who I was also tuning into. He was playing some Buffy the Vampire Slayer of all games for his October. I think he's playing spooky games. Supernatural October or something like that. There's Tom B, the bloke from across the pond in Britain. Tom B's a good guy. He's definitely out there to help all YouTubers out and streamers. There's Anger Canadian, the Nerdpoil Lifeform. Over on Rumble, I think that's where I watch him. Rumble. Infinite Metal on Rumble. That guy, he's hilarious. He plays video games and he has this dragon named Skelly that he voices, and it comes out and there's the back and forth between the two. It's pretty damn funny. So that's Infinite Metal on Rumble. And then don't forget Punk Waddle. Punk Waddle's got his ponderances every Saturday. You'll find him at Floral from Under a Rock, on Snowdub's channel, and on his own channel. So he's everybody's favorite penguin. Then our friends that are on hiatus, Whoopa and Blaine. Hopefully they come back to stream soon, because, you miss those guys. You miss seeing them stream. Coming up, everybody, Retro Game Day on Saturday. I'm going to be playing some brain games. I've decided that maybe this is the time to do a little bit of brain training with some different games. We'll do crosswords, we'll do anagrams, we'll do, all sorts of stuff to exercise the old brain and get it so that it's in top form. Because, you use it or you lose it or you use it. Use it or you lose it. That's what you got to do. You got to get that brain going. Sunday is Anime Chat Day. It's going to be it's a new month, new theme. I don't know what the new theme is. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what the new theme is. I have to come up with something. I don't want to just do the same, it's October, so do spooky stuff. I want to do something a little bit different. Last year I did cosplay because people dress up for Halloween, so I got to come up with something. Hoping you guys are okay with me trying to come up with something. And then after Sunday, it's Tuesday. Trades Talk Tuesday. And as long as I'm not working late, we'll see. I might have to postpone it again. We're behind a little bit on shutdown. I still have some heat exchangers to repair. motors and belts to replace. Or sorry, bearings and belts, not motors. I got bearings and belts to replace, and a new pump to install. So each one of those takes a day. So it takes a day to install the pump, and it takes a day to change the bearings and belts on a heat exchanger. It's just for the simple fact that if that shaft is rusted, you will have a hell of a time getting those bearings off. And if that pump is not properly lined up or doesn't fit on the footprint, then you've got a big problem. So I'm hoping things go well and I'm able to stream, but shutdown will be over by the end of the month. Or sorry, shutdown will be done by the 16th. So after the 16th, I should be free and clear. And back to the old, just nice, quiet, let the plant run, and we can make product. How about scary fan service? Ooh, I like that, Tits. That sounds like a good idea. Like tsundere fan service. You got good ideas. I see you're a man of taste. You're paying Blaine $1 a month? Yeah, geez. I think I subscribe to Blaine as well. Anyways, I had fun tonight. I hope you guys did too. I hope to see you on Saturday. Hopefully I'm not working on Saturday. Unless they tell me to come and work on Saturday. And it's like, okay. But we'll see. Yeah, until Saturday, everyone. I really thank you for all coming out. I really appreciate you. And until then, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.